Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they've come in on a nice run of recent form. 4 wins out of 5.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. First carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. Threw an opening, and there he goes. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
So the special come out on 1st and 10. A carry now for McKissick. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. They don't want to waste this outstanding field position on this opening drive as they come up on 3rd down. Play action. Now Wilson rolling to his left. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left.
And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the center. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Now a play fake here on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. First drive for this offense today, and our first chance to get a look at Tyler Eifert.
And he's part of the new wave of tight ends in the NFL. They use them in every position, sometimes even by themselves as a wide receiver.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
And free safety Earl Thomas has a list of accomplishments as long as anyone's arm. But the thing I think about with him at all times, no matter what happens in front of him on the defensive end of the ball, he's back there to erase any mistakes that happen. The top guy in the league, as far as I'm concerned, in that category.
Let's go!
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. The screen good for 6, but it's not enough as it leads to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And out now come the Seahawks. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
Accelerating, and off he goes. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. J.D. McKissick, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. They got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
Extra point attempt to follow here. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. The rushing numbers last week for Cohen. 14 carries, 64 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they're going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, You've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawks defense. Frank Clark in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way. Well, he's got a big leg, and when everything comes together, he can certainly hit from long range, but this one's going to come up just a little bit short. A very good effort, though.
Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
They go play action here on first down. Dancing to his left. And his throw is going to be incomplete. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget, his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Second and 10. It's Wilson again. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Let's go!
This is Cohen. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 1 quarter down, 21-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run. This is Cohen. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them.
And that's caught inside the 35. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Buying time to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball. He was going for the tight end, Nick Vanette, and that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now he's going to throw it back deep over the middle. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. They went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Being chased out left. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll go down at the 28. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt, just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Mike Williams now as his guys head back out to go on offense. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
Let's go!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be third down. Well, they tried to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they put that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Let's go! Brad 38! Brad 38!
He'll drop to throw. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. They'll drop to throw. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Looking to throw. Time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. On play action, they'll throw. And that is incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it, but not to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the second quarter. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down, but a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. They will run it. It's McKissick. Finding room at the 30. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. He's at the 30. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. J.D. McKissick, 85 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Mike Williams now as his guys head back out to go on offense. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I say just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts, one of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll get started out in Texas, NRG Stadium in Houston. And it's the Texans who've got the lead in the second quarter. The Texans still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they were losers in that one as they fall to the visiting Denver Broncos. Josh Rosen, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital. See what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And right now they have the lead over the visiting New York Giants. The Redskins locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. In our game has been Russell Wilson, who was dynamic, as usual, in that first half. His guys have just about put this one on ice already. As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Barkevius Mingo with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Give them 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's already gone over 200 yards on the ground as we get a look at some of his solid work.
And the guys I know, they think about 100 yards each and every game. That's the confidence factor. That's the level they think they should be getting to. Rarely do they admit to saying, I'm going to go for 200 or more in a game. That's what we're seeing right here. What a combination of great runs, vision, power, terrific blocking. It's all come together in this one.
And nearly impossible to stop. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Here's McKissick. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more.
Foul. Face mask. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. Forced out to his left. Now and he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Seahawks are running away with this one.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now the try here for the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. 1 play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They try again with Cohen. And he powers his way up past the 30. Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4.
Let's go! Brad 38!
They'll look to throw here. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Vontaze Burfict.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
They run it with Ballage, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, second down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
And they'll go on the ground. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
They'll look to throw, and this is going to be incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5, and out will come the offense as they take over. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's been a good game manager. They're winning here in the 3rd quarter, but really the ground game is where it's been at for them, hasn't it?
So whatever the game plan was, you just got to focus on continuing to run the football. And really that takes the pressure off of the guy throwing it around. Doesn't have to be the focal point. Hand it off, let him chew up the yardage and big plays, and your team's winning. The only people upset, the fantasy guys who may have started him at quarterback in their leagues.
And we'll see if they continue with the recipe of the ground game. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A very solid gain of 27.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
And the coach has decided to challenge this play. He has tossed down the red flag.
Coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case,
looking for Baldwin, intercepted. Desmond King picks it. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield. It gets intercepted.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's second down. He has still not connected on a single pass in this second half.
And right now they're going through all the different reasons, the whys, the wherefores. Bottom line, got to find some completions in there to get their offense moving.
And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a gain of a yard there. Now it'll be third down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game. And now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. And time for us to spotlight Doug Baldwin. He's been his typical solid and reliable self, hasn't he, Charles?
When you have that go-to receiver that you can count on in the situation where you absolutely have to have him, there's nothing better for anybody who's throwing the football. But the best part is the payoff. 2 touchdowns already. That's the bottom line when you throw the ball to a guy.
Absolutely. Not over 100 yards right now, but he does have the 2 touchdown catches.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's going to have to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Flushed out right. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that if they have to punt the ball, they've done so with that first run.
Now back to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Here we go. 190.
They'll set up to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Wilson now just 8 of 16 thus far, 50%, but it's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Steps away to his left. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll be out of bounds. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. J.D. McKissick taking it in. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. First by him near the 35. Caught left side, Williams. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision. And receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31, defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. They're going to look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Let's go. What? 90.
Back to throw here. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
He'll buy some time right. He lets it fly for Lockett. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
He finds his man, Baldwin, and brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so...
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it second down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Let's go!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On third down, it's King. And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a fourth down. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. Hard to call this guy a game manager, but that's really all he's needed to do. The running game, fantastic.
And they've actually put themselves in a spot where they're able to close the game out, doing what you would want to do in this situation anyway, run the football. But they don't have to ramp up into it. They're already there. They've been establishing it the entire game.
They can keep that running theme and get into the locker room with a win. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions. That confident veneer that you have gets chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions maybe in the back of his mind. On the move to his left. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down. Throwing is Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the fourth time today. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Come on, let's go. What? 90. What?
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15.
Let's go. What? 90.
Now they'll run on the draw. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Nazaire Jones there on the tackle. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Doug Baldwin and company getting ready to go again on offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
95.
Wilson wants to throw it. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll have another road date next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as
Start your week by installing your game plan.